Hello, hello, and welcome, my Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Path of True Love reading for April 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and fellow earth sign Virgo that I am. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new to my channel, please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and by all means, feel free to comment in the comment section below if something resonates for you and you're like, oh my God, that makes sense. You know, it's very helpful on my end. Otherwise, it's like being dropped down in the middle of a romantic comedy and being whipped out before you get to see what happens. So I appreciate the context if you are feeling to share it. Cool. A couple of things before we dive in. Please remember, this is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and by all means check your other signs. These are running close to 30 minutes depending upon the intensity of the spread. It's only 10 cards, but you know, I'm verbose. I got a lot of vocabulary going on here, and I got to do what they're sending through me. That's the prayer I do beforehand, is to be used as a channel of guidance and grace for this. So we got to let it roll out the way it rolls out, don't we? This is a Path of True Love read, a little bit different this time than I've done it before. They do change it, it seems, every time I do a particular series of readings, Aries to Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. This one, really, because of the situation that we are in on planet Earth right now, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not even going to mention it if I can avoid it, because we are sheltering in place, or, you know, lockdown, whatever word you want to use. The path of true love can be a little tricky, particularly if you are sequestered with people you don't get along with, right? So what is the path of true love? If not your healing path, your spiritual path, your hero's journey through the lens of your relationships, twin flame, soulmates, all of that, and a side of fries. This one in particular is about how you can be the mate of your own soul, or your own soulmate, which then prepares you to be a better soulmate for others. So it's sort of a more of direct reading about what you need to kind of deal with within yourself. Yeah, sure, if you're with people who are triggering you left, right, and center, it's still going to put the power back into you. Instead of waiting for them to change, you get to actually heal. See, I live alone with my cats, so they don't trigger me that much. They really don't. They're snuggle bunnies. I love them. So, but that does not mean that my own healing path has stopped. I mean, I've been living alone for a while now, so I'm kind of digging it, actually. So welcome to my world, if you're unfamiliar with the solitary life. I'm loving it, though. So that being said, please remember to breathe, because when you breathe, you're actually breathing in the chi, the prana, the spirit, your higher self, right? Your spirit coming into your body, bringing you what you need in that moment. But also, because you are here now and you're focused on your breath, you're hearing more of what I'm saying, and it's able, I don't know, just easier, I feel, to feel what resonates and what doesn't, right? So keep that in mind. I will do the same. And let's get into this gig. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to start with Caroline Myss archetype cards, just one, so that you know some archetypal dynamics of what it is that's rising up inside of you over the next month for your own benefit and healing. Alchemy, transforming lead to gold, loving what rises, self-healing, all that kind of stuff. You with me? Yeah, we'll see. Here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card in clarity for this Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What do they need to look at, address within themselves, within their own archetypal makeup, within their own energy field? Month of April 2020, in terms of them really loving themselves, healing themselves, being the mates of their own soul, their own soulmate. Please, one card in clarity for the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for April 2020 on the path of true love. And you've got the angel archetype. Angel, my angel, fly over me, angel. Annie Lennox. The shadow attribute, acting innocent or angelic to mislead others. So much fun. Falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. Now, honestly, most people fall into the former rather than the latter on that, unless you're claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. I believe if you are, then that's not necessarily the shot. If you really believe, if you believe in life after love, then share. But the chances of it more in the shadow being somebody acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, probably more the case. But the light attribute, helping those in need with no expectation of return. So that's kind of what you're shooting for here, and particularly if you are in an essential business, a first responder, a healer of any kind. Notice I am dancing around this subject because I think we're triggered enough, right? Just turn on any channel, you get triggered. Not mine. I'm doing my best to give you guidance and grace with truth and all of that, and a side of said fries. So that we're going to be probably referring back to here, there, and everywhere. Do you remember all the decks that I'm reading are in the description box below if you're interested in any of them. Plus, there's some of my Vimeo on demand links in there, so if you wanted to go watch one of my classes or workshops. I think the Path to True Love is in there, the ones for Witchcraft Cycle 1 are in there, so go have a look. Let's ask the angels what's going on for you becoming your own soulmate, the mate of your soul on the path of true love, shall we? Nice deep breath. Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue cards. Here we go, my angels. Please, one card in clarity for the Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. What's going on for them on the path of true love? The angel that walks with them to help them with healing, hence the Healing with the Angels Oracle. What's going on for them April 2020 on the path of true love? Archangel Michael, you got an angelic double whammy there, babies. That does not happen that often. So Archangel Michael, the protector, the defender. Technically an angel of fire, the angel of the south. You're an earth sign, obviously Taurus. But if you have any fire there, see what your connection to Archangel Michael it is. It's the only archangelic card in this deck, because really I would have liked to have seen Gabriel, Raphael, and my own personal, the earth one, Uriel, in here. But he's the most famous one. So, in a way, the Archangel of Truth, right? One who is like God, I believe, is what the word Michael means. The shining protector, but also the one who holds the sword of truth that cleaves through illusion, that cuts you free from limitations, fears, etc. I'm just getting lots of notifications because everybody's home and messaging me or adding me on Facebook. Do you know how many men from around the planet that see my profile picture, same one that's on my channel, and just like I've gotten some pretty disturbing pictures. Let's just put it that way. So there's something here about the truth, right? That there's something here about perhaps you standing in your own truth, protecting or defending your own truth. Perhaps, but perhaps you as an angel archetype really serving up truth. Now, I have many a Taurian in my lifelong, and they really don't hedge around the truth that much. They'll pretty much either not say anything or just charge right ahead. Toro, just come right at you with truth, which is very Archangel Michael in that sense. But also keep in mind, Taurus, second house, is about lifelong values. So there is probably something here about you protecting what you love, perhaps even who you love, and maybe even protecting your own innocence, your own safety, your own body. That would make sense here. But remember, this is a path of true love reading, so we're really tuning in to hear about your own, perhaps personal energy space, protecting your heart, as well as taking this time to see through illusions pertaining to love, romance, relationships in general. Remember, Path of True Love isn't just about romance and sex. This can be about familial relationships. This can be about friends. This can be about any type of relationship involving the heart chakra. Which is pretty much all of them. But let's keep going. The more pieces of the puzzle on the table, the clearer this will be. And that's why we're going to use the Daughters of the Moon. Tarot is the voices of the gods and goddesses, the Divine Masculine Collective, the Divine Feminine Collective, if you like. For an element spread, fire, earth, air, water, spirit, I'll call it out as we go. All right, what the positions mean. Nice deep breath. Oh, that feels good. My gods and goddesses sacred, please, top 5 cards. Element spread for the Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love for April 2020. Their fire, what is it they desire that will help them be their own soulmate? Earth, what is it that they have that will help them learn and grow to be the mate of their own soul? Air, what is it that they are thinking or can think that will assist in the process of understanding being the soulmate, being a soulmate, right, to themselves, let alone anybody else? Element of water, what is it that they're feeling, perhaps emotionally or intuitionally? What's going on that whole process of emotional healing, which is so key to being a soulmate, mate of your own soul? And then the element of spirit, what is the point of view or the voice of their own soul to which they are mating, or coming from the place of the soul to be their own soulmate, right? Please, my gods and my goddesses sacred, maiden, mother, crown, yay, clean cut. I do like a clean cut. Now I am going to put these up here so that I don't unconsciously shuffle them. I did ask for the top 5 cards, element spread, so let's see what you got. Element of fire, what's going on in your desires, your choices, your decisions, your willpower, throat chakra kind of stuff in terms of becoming your own soulmate? Appraisal, so what you really want to do is start taking stock, taking value. Appraisal is when you assign value, right? Getting a house appraised, a car appraised, piece of jewelry appraised. You're trying to find out what is the standard value for it. But because you are a Taurus, and like I said before, second house is life values, like things that you value your whole life. People will say prosperity and abundance, and sure, we value those things lifelong. But for me, honesty and truth is a big one, like Archangel Michael, right? As is a sense, well, I am a Virgo. So like I do value my occupation, what I do, how I can serve lifelong. Like no matter what I'm doing, I want it to serve, if not another person or myself, the higher purpose, right? The divine design. So in terms of what you want there, an appraisal, a real knowing the value of something, and it is an earth card. So, you know, even if it's not monetary, that sense of, I really want to know the value, perhaps your own value, which is really beyond estimation. You're a divine child, as is every other really living thing, let alone human soul in a human body. But I'm also getting the value of like appraising the value of this time that we're in for you personally. Like, what can I get out of this? How can I make this the best that it can be? How can I extract from this lead situation the gold, that which is of value? That was definitely from the gods. What's going on in your element of earth? What you have. Very interesting. This just happened in the Aries reading. You've got earth and fire, and you've got fire in earth. In other words, you've got an earth card in the fire position and a fire card in the earth position. And the 3 of flames here is loyalty. So you do have that going for you. You have that loyalty to yourself. And I will say, very Archangel Michael, and particularly if this has to do with your honor code, think solar plexus, what you will do, what you won't do, your self-esteem, right, your intuition, that process. We store our honor codes right here. When your solar plexus goes, ugh, means it's violating, usually means it's violating your honor code, your personal set of boundaries, known or unknown, which is why it's always good to reassess what your boundaries are. I said it a lot in the chakra reads I just did, that don't talk to strangers is brilliant for a 4-year-old, right? Makes sense. Don't talk to strangers isn't so great for a 44-year-old, right? So these things, our boundaries have to shift. And remember, you can always put a swinging gate, right? A locking swinging gate in your boundaries to let some people in with some things and others not so much. So that might be part of this. Your loyalty to yourself, your loyalty to your growth, to the path of true love. What is your foundation, right? How committed are you to loving yourself, to healing yourself, to giving yourself the love that only you can give you, because it's not a once and done. It's not even, it's daily. Sometimes in situations like we find ourselves in now, we have to keep checking in. It's like, it's okay, I love you, inner child work, however, whatever that process is, EFT, Reiki, giving yourself the good cry, self-care, all of that stuff is in there. That's only going to make you a better soulmate for anybody else you are partnered with, regardless of the form, whether it's your child, your parent, your sibling, your lover, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. I could go on. You get what we're saying? But you've got that loyalty there, and that is very Taurian. It's very earth sign in general, but Taurian in particular. What's going on in the element of air? What's going on in your mind? That's where the conflict is. That's what I love about this deck. 4 of Flames. Conflict. 1 dragon, 2 archers, right? Looks like 2 dragons, but it's not. It's 2 archers, 1 dragon. Ugh, I just had that nasty video clip. I'm not even going to say its name. Oh, involving a cup and not the Ace of Cups, but only 1 apparently. Whoa. Somebody showed me that. I almost threw up. The 4 of Flames there, that conflict. So there is a mental conflict going on here. Now, if I were to tune into that, it might very well be a conflict between this light and shadow of the angel. Not maybe necessarily that you're acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, but helping those in need with no expectation of return. Are you expecting a return? Are you expecting those that you help to reciprocate? Now, it's nice if they say thank you, but the angel archetype is, the word angel itself means messenger of light, right? Or shining messenger. They come in, they deliver their message to help, whatever, and poof, they're gone, right? So that might be part of the mental conflict. And this is not the first time I've heard this week. Might also be you've got a slight telepathic or not so slight telepathic skill that you are picking up the conflict in the air, because so many people are conflicted right now in terms of their priorities. So hence maybe this sense of re-evaluation, reappraisal, what's really important, Like, there are all sorts of things I would like to do. I'm not leaving my house. I don't care if it's another month. I will Peapod, I will Amazon, I will bring shit into my house. Why? Because I live alone with my boys and my cats, and I have to take care of them. They are most important, as is my health. See what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know, going to the movies, which I haven't done in a while. I mean, Wonder Woman 1984 is coming out. I hope this is over before then. But in the larger scale of things, let us all be healthy, right? So we're all having to reevaluate, and really, what are our ultimate loyalties to? But I could see the mental conflict in that, because we're in a new world. I don't know if we'll ever go back to the way things were. It feels like lightning has struck. We'll be in a hopefully better world than we were, more compassionate, more understanding, and certainly more aware of boundaries and how to heal ourselves moving forward. Oh, what a diplomatic way of saying that. Thank you, my gods and goddesses. Yeah, they just pass around my crown chakra like open mic night when I do this. What's going on in your water, your emotional field? Brilliant. 9 of Cups, Kuan Yin. So there is compassion. You are feeling compassion, and that could absolutely be part of the conflict in your mind. Like, how do I be compassionate to myself and others? We're all one. This is part of what you are learning. If you really want to be the mate of your own soul, you will find that being compassionate to others without yourself knocks you out of balance. So with the 9 of Cups, keep in mind this is traditionally known as the wish fulfillment card, or the wish card, right? But it is very go with the flow. I mean, Kuan Yin doesn't stamp around when she doesn't get what she wants. She allows her cups to fill and overflow. Granted, not a 10. In this deck, the 10 of Cups is Inanna's house of heaven. Ecstasy, right? It's really all that. And a case of wine. In my case, that would be champagne. But you sort of get me? That thing of, yes, emotional. There is another card in this deck, in 6 of Cups, compassion. But this is really more of that. You're kind of trying to stay in that heart-centered, loving place, understanding place. and that your wishes will someday come true. Your heart's desires will unfold. So there does seem to be quite a difference here, fire and water, between what's going on in your third eye, let's say, and what's going on in your heart chakra. Your throat chakra might have a little trouble balancing that right now. But I'm also getting with that card, man, my hand's on this card of the Nine of Cups, that there really is also that feeling of, I'll call it goddess energy, that loving, unconditional thing, but perhaps being poured out to others and not so much for yourself, which would maybe bring you to the 10 in terms of being your own soulmate. I mean, last night I had a migraine. I don't have normal migraines. Spinal subluxation, right? So I took an analgesic, not an analgesic, anti-inflammatory Alka-Seltzer, not a big deal, with Bayer aspirin, right? And when it calmed down, I really kind of had a mystical experience and cried my eyes out for the love of the divine, right? As noun and verb. I talked about it in the super chat I did this morning. And really the love of God, the love of Goddess, just I couldn't stop crying. I was even laying down. It was pooling in my ears, the tears in my ears. So, you know, so a lot of that movement, that was a 10 of Cups moment for me. So to really remember to keep yourself in that, to love your heart, to take care of you. And even if you are sequestered, alone, by yourself, solitary time, just love yourself. Put your hands on your heart and say, I love you, no matter what. You don't have to feel the love. You just need to mean it. I love you, inner child work, etc. Anything that you can do to love yourself emotionally, that's only going to affect everybody else around you. Even if there's no one else around you, it's going to bless the quantum field. What's going on? Element of spirit, the point of view of your soul. Well, here we have the Libra card, Skadi, the north wind, the mother of blades, cardinal air. So, I mean, 7th house, I mean, this is in the position of the soul. So ordinarily a court card, I would say, it could be, well, the signs are printed right on the card. I like that about this deck, a particular person, but this feels like this is about your own internal balance, right? Libra. Now, Libra is 7th house, right? Relationships, one-on-one relationships, very second chakra. Ruled by Venus, partnerships, legal stuff, like a business partnership, a legal partnership, but also dealing with the shadow self. That I got from Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Mace decades ago. So the soul is saying you're in a balancing time right now. You're coming into relationship with aspects of yourself, and hopefully, you know, appraising them and finding worth in them. Like, particularly in terms of your loyalty, are you loyal to everybody else? Is this angel helping others, asking nothing in return, but leaving yourself out in the cold? Well, this might be your opportunity to bring that into balance, and hence the mental conflict there. But the love is there. You just kind of maybe need to reroute it towards yourself. And that doesn't make you narcissistic. In fact, narcissists don't love themselves. Just saying. They don't know how. Because they've been neglected. Just saying. I'm no therapist, but I am a spiritual counselor, and I've dated enough passive narcissists, active narcissists. Let's move on. Mercury's not even retrograde. Oh, thank God, right? We got that out of the way. Let's ask the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, the Voices of the Ascended Masters, for the next 2 decks to bring some clarity to all of this. There are 4 suits in this deck: the problem, the luck, the healing, and the grace. Let's see which one you get. Breathe. My Ascended Masters, please. 1 card in clarity for the Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, April 2020, please. My Ascended Masters, what do they need to be aware of? What is the piece of the problem, the piece of the luck, the piece of the healing, or the piece of the grace that they need to embrace, that they need to face for the month of April 2020, please, my Masters? Just put that card right in my hand, and there it is. What you got? the card of the problem, right? The problem card of the problem suit. And here we have that pretty much mirrored in the mental element of air card of the conflict. So there is a problem here. The puzzle pieces are not fitting together. Something is, my sense, out of balance, and it's an imbalance between the mental conflict and the emotional Kuan Yin, go with the flow, feel the compassion, feel the love, as well as just chill out. You know what it is? I sense that you may be such an angel archetype, like praying for people and helping people and serving people, that now you might be restricted, so you don't know what to do. So like you're sort of, well, I have this loyalty, I want to be loyal, I want to do everything that I can, but you may not physically be able to, right? If you have a non-essential business, however that plays itself out, and it might be knocking you off balance. Whatever the problem is, though, with Archangel Michael here, you're going to be released from it, but you have to be willing to see the facts for what they are, to see truth, to cut through the fears. Now, look, Kenneth Wapnick, in my opinion, one of the best teachers of A Course in Miracles. His story alone is fascinating. He's from Brooklyn, I think. Brooklyn or the Bronx, I forget. I was watching a video of his on YouTube. You could find a Wapnick, W-A-P-N-I-C-K, pretty short. And he said, fear is not a sin. Being afraid is not a sin. Being angry is not a sin. It's sort of what you do with it. That these are the things that we need to love and embrace in ourselves, right? So perhaps your soul is saying you're out of balance because you're repressing some things that are causing problems for you, that you need to be honest with yourself in order to come into balance. Because it feels like the heart is willing, but the mind is in conflict. You might have a belief system in there that no longer serves. Like I said before, don't talk to strangers, brilliant for a 4-year-old, really limiting, not so great, really dysfunctional for a 44-year-old. So there might be something going on there in the mental thing. And remember, it's element of fire, 2 wills. It's like, I want, but. It's like gas brake. I want this, but I can't because I want to, but I can't. And it's kind of grinding your gears, so to speak. So what we're going to do to help remedy that, get you a Matcon Healing Mantra deck card. Ooh, this is fun work to do on a day like today. Take a nice deep breath. We just dealt with the Ascended Masters with that problem card and the problem suit. Let's find out what's going with the Healing Mantra deck for you. One side of the card is the name of the mantra, the other the mantra itself. I'll read it from the book because there ain't nothing else written on these cards and I ain't got it memorized. There's a lot in this book to memorize. I mean, I know the basic meaning, but let me give you Matt's POV. It's point of view. Genius that he is. My Ascended Masters, please. One card in clarity. What is the perfect healing mantra for this Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for April 2020, considering everything on the table here, and particularly that we've got that card of the problem and that card of the conflict and the element of air. What is the perfect healing mantra for this Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for April 2020? Resolving anger. I get well, I've dated Taurians. Y'all swallow that shit and don't deal with it and it eats you alive, or charge! You paw the ground. Sometimes you give us a couple of seconds head start to run. Conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself is the mantra. So if you are sequestered with people who are just grinding your gears, working that last nerve, tap dancing on it, go to the bathroom. I mean, not just the act of going to the bathroom. I mean, go to the bathroom and say, I'm taking a shower. I'm taking a break. You know, I'll be out in the backyard. I'll be in my bedroom. I'll be in somewhere. Just don't go back into the closet if you had to come out of one. But maybe that's your situation, right? Resolving anger. Let me read this one because I can see this one popping for all sorts of people around planet Earth, particularly if you're sequestered with family, sheltering with family. Resolving anger. Conflict reminds me, right? There's the key to that. It reminds me when I'm feeling, right? And doesn't it just say conflict? Conflict, written on the card. Conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself. When anger is resolved, you are able to see your emotional reactions or the abrupt responses of others as evidence of profound transformation taking place. In other words, the anger is a sign of a transformation, element of fire, already taking place. It's not the transformation itself, it's evidence of, right? As evidence of profound transformation taking place. When anger is present, it acts as a sign of needing more space to face the feelings that are ready to be healed, or to balance out patterns of doing with moments of being. And that's kind of what I'm feeling here. You've got this angel archetype doing for everybody else, and you might be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Then somebody looks at you the wrong way and you just want to rip their heads off. Or gore them with your horns. Horn gores. As you resolve anger, you are able to find the time you need to be both rested and productive. This mantra is ideal for managing stress. Please. Deepening interpersonal communication. Let's just leave that one there. And tempering frustration. Resolving anger, s'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. Let's get you your last card down. That totally speaks for itself. Totally makes sense considering you've got the conflict card. We're going to, after this card, pop up the picture and look at the overview and see what else is revealed. But first, we're going to get a whisper of love from the Higher Self Collective for you all. Nice deep breath. Higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity, a whisper of love for the Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs for April 2020. What is the whisper of love? So that they can be the soulmates to themselves, that they can be the mates of their own soul, hence making them a better soulmate to somebody else, whether it be lover or friend or family member. This is about the self-love. This is a path of true love thing. So please, higher selves of all involved, for the Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, what's the whisper of love? Spiritual connection. This relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. I feel like you are dealing with a soulmate, even though, in the position, the voice of the soul, you've got the seventh house, the Libra card. Look, there's a link in the description box below, two of them, one by me, one by Matt Kahn, sort of talking about the difference between twin flames and soulmates. They're not the same thing. Even people who have watched the videos that I know are still conflating them together. It's like, I can't wait to meet my twin flame. I'm like, sweetheart, you understand there's a difference? Twin flames, you teach each other how to love yourselves by not giving each other the love that only you can give you. Soulmates, you help each other heal. You're supportive, you're symbiotic, they're satisfying. My mother and I, soulmates since I was born. My father and I, God rest his soul, twin flames since I was born. Now that he's croaked, we get along much better. We see each other very differently, me clairvoyantly, he and him from the other side. But he did teach me how to give me the acceptance that he couldn't give me. He wanted a heterosexual, conservative, Republican, did I say heterosexual? Oh, Catholic. No, I'm a gay liberal witch. Sorry, Dad. But not so sorry, Dad. Right? So this is in preparation for a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. All right? This work that you're doing, if you're really wanting your true lover, your soulmate, your romantic partner, or perhaps just more of those soul family connections, this is what you are being prepared for. You know what? Let's just do the overview. I think this will make a heaven of a lot more sense in overview. Ready? Here we go, Taurians. Magic clap. we start you off with the angel archetype in the shadow. Acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. The light attribute, helping those in need with no expectation of return. Maybe you're pretending to not want anything back in return and seething on the inside because you're not getting anything back in return. And then, of course, Archangel Michael there. It seems like the truth needs to be acknowledged, at least by you, that that's going to be your best protection and defense moving through this clearly and cleanly, at least cutting yourself free from attachments to things that ain't never going to happen. Like certain people you were just here to serve and get nothing back from. At the same time, there are people who serve us and they ask for nothing in return. So it does all balance out. But keep in mind, Archangel Michael there is also about protection and defense, that you see things clearly, that you not get so wooed and moved by false information, particularly if you are falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. Make sure you're very, very clear about that. Because in your element of fire here in the element spread, 7 of Pentacles, appraisal, you're wanting to find value, to appraise value, to assign value in one way or another, and match that with the 3 of Flames in your earth position, that you've got immense loyalty. Perhaps you are appraising whether your loyalty is worth what you are going through right now, helping others in need with no expectation of return. Now remember, it does say helping those in need, but maybe you're appraising, do they really need it, or am I carrying someone who can walk? We all do it until we learn not to. And maybe that's part of this 4 of Flames, the mental conflict, or at least conflict in the element of air, that you're of 2 minds about this. Perhaps you got a piece of information that changed things around, and you're realizing either the new piece of information isn't as true as it seems, or maybe the information you already have was based on a falsehood of some kind. But whatever that conflict is in the mind, your heart is in the right place, right? That Kuan Yin. I cannot, even though there's another card in this deck called Compassion, I'm really getting that feeling here of that really kind of like, yeah, but I know they're struggling, and I just want to help. And that is that angelic archetype within you, but it must be given to yourself now. Because we are looking there in the position of the soul. And remember, this reading is about how to be your own soulmate, the mate of your own soul. The Skadi, the north wind, really bringing that into balance. You in relationship to someone else, you in relationship to your own shadow, to your own soul. Again, refer back to that angel archetype, and keep in mind the shadow side of the angel is the demon. And demon is just an angel who has forgotten its wings, forgotten who it is, where it came from. And therein, the Ascended Masters are giving you the problem card in the suit of the problem. Now, it's not that you've done anything wrong necessarily. You know, we've done nothing wrong. We're playing out the roles that were scripted in the divine plan anyway. Before we ever came into these bodies, these things were written. But it is certainly a challenge. The puzzle pieces aren't fitting. Perhaps there is this spiritual connection on its way to you. Yes, I'm jumping a card for a moment, right? Or there's another connection in your life. The relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. Maybe this conflicted relationship, you are trying to heal this in this life by bringing it into balance with that Libra card in the soul position. But certainly any anger that you are feeling towards yourself, towards the other here, with this card resolving anger, the mantra is, conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself. And if you are indeed sheltering in place with this person, that may look like a problem, but it's actually a problem that can be resolved. But you must resolve it within yourself, step by step, day by day, breath by breath, and make sure that you get, when you are feeling that conflict, not just thinking about it, although that's in your mind probably rather consistently every time you hear their voice and you wish they would just go away, that the conflict reminds you you need more space for yourself. So to the extent you can, make that part of your self-care. Let Archangel Michael cut you a lovely boundary, or if you are a witch, If you are a magical practitioner, cast circle, go in the shower, do a rite of purification, ground yourself, heal yourself, love yourself, take care of yourself, because that is certainly taking space for yourself, sacred space for yourself, which will help you resolve this anger. Well, my fellow earth signs, that's pretty grounded, actually, considering that we started with an angel, the archetype of the angel, and then Archangel Michael, first two cards down. This got pretty practical pretty quickly. And I get the thing about a spiritual connection. This relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. It may not make sense. So maybe try a little PLR. Oh, sorry, it's a professional abbreviation. Past life regression. There are plenty of audios and videos available online, and certainly on YouTube. I'm sure somebody's got a past life regression thing on there. If not, if you're local to Long Island, I know somebody who does it really well. But you might have to wait until things are a little bit healthier on Long Island in particular, which is why I'm not leaving my house. You got it? May the Taurian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love, to heal, to learn, to grow, to resolve this conflict, to resolve their anger, to uncover this spiritual connection, to solve this problem, to deal with their loyalty, to appraise, to feel this compassion, all under grace and in perfect ways for the well-being of all. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you for watching. My fellow earth signs, my Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, wishing you the very best and the very blessed on the path of true love for April 2020. But for now, hail, farewell, and blessed be.